Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Lewis. This is the ReEvolve Media Revolution podcast, where we interview underground hip hop artists from across Canada and do our best to dig into the inner workings of how passionate people operate, especially when acknowledging their purpose. This episode features Mo Dirt. I find the idea of purpose very fascinating as I look at it from two dramatically different, both very extreme perspectives. One of those perspectives being that every single thing in existence serves a purpose. From a speck of dust to a failed exam, from a weak handshake to an intrusive thought, every single thing exists and occurs the way it does, exactly as it is supposed to. And when you are in line with that mentally, things feel good. Now, the other perspective is that absolutely nothing has a purpose. Nothing is or ever was planned, and we are all on this miscellaneous rock orbiting a massive ball of fire by pure chance. Your birth was pure chance. The dreams that occur while you sleep are absolute random nonsense plucked from the moment. And you bet your ass the thing that kills you is going to be absolutely fortuitous. Yes, I do very much enjoy looking at purpose from both perspectives. Staring and pondering deeply at the potential reality of both theories as my relationship with life teeters in the balance. Teeter. But then something happens that's way too specific to be a coincidence, and I go, huh? What's the purpose of that? All right, everybody, I'm here with Morgan. He goes by Mo Dirt. He's from Vancouver. How you doing, Mo Dirt?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. So you got a long history in hip hop, eh?
Yeah, it goes back a few years now, I guess.
Yeah, few. That's an understatement. You're a rapper. You're a producer. You're also a graphic artist. What don't you do, man? Is
I
it
mean,
graphic artist or what would you define it as?
yeah,
You're
no, I
like
don't really do the graphic stuff on the computer. I guess more of an illustrator.
an illustrator. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was big into graffiti and stuff before I started rapping, and that's kind of where my roots were. So I used to draw stuff up, and then I'd have homies and stuff, or just pay someone online to do the digital work for it.
Oh, so you were doing it as kind of like a trade back when you first started doing it.
Yeah. It's like when I first started, I was just kind of doing I did some album covers for some homies and stuff, and just like sticker ideas. Originally I wanted to have like a clothing brand and stuff before I ever got into the music or anything, but this is way back. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Honestly, we should touch on it because what I'm seeing is in 2012 you started releasing music that you produced.
Yeah.
That was on YouTube. I got a couple clips there, but is that roughly when you were kind of inspired to start your clothing business as well?
No, this was before the music stuff ever happened. I was like big into graffiti probably from the time I was like 13 up until, I mean, always was like still am into it, but I was actually, going out there tagging and bombing shit and really like looked up to graffiti artists, and I wanted to have like a clothing brand eventually. And but yeah, when I was like 18, 19, I started getting into music and my focus really just got more into music, and I kind of
For
put that on the
sure.
back burner.
Oh, okay, but it's still on the back burner, so it still kind of might come up at any point in time.
Yeah, I mean, just recently, actually, this last like week, I just started like posting that I'm doing artwork and stuff again. And I've had a bunch of like, it's crazy. I just got a bunch of work lined up. People hitting me up from all over the place to do whatever. It's a canvas for them, a fucking logo. Someone wants me to do someone's animating a movie, and they want me to do some character designs and shit for them. It's like a bunch of crazy shit. I can only touch so much on that right now, but crazy
Man, I think that's
opportunities.
so cool. Yeah, and that just comes from posting some of your older stuff as well as your newer that Rick and Morty commission that you did,
I
right?
literally just made a post just posting some of my artwork from 10 years ago, and the response was crazy.
So between 10 years ago and now, have you been kind of keeping up with the habit, kind of a little bit even?
No, not really. I'd probably say like, odd piece here and there. Just recently in this last year, I kind of started getting back into it because I started a book. It's a black book that I started writing all of my finished songs in, and every other page or so, there's like a piece of artwork that I did in there. And my plan was to
Oh,
fill the whole book
nice,
up and
man.
just keep it as a keepsake to like give to my kid one day.
Does the artwork go with the pages before and after it, or is it kind of random?
It's just random. It's all throughout it.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
cool. I'll
dope.
have to post it online sometime.
For sure. But with your illustrator abilities, it's kind of like riding a bike, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could use the practice and shit again because it's been so long. Like main thing I was doing something the other day and like my hand just started cramping up like a motherfucker.
Hey, the muscles need work.
Yeah, man, for real. Haven't
That's
used those
that's
bad boys for a
hilarious.
while.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're going to get busy in the illustrator world for a while. Do you think your music will take a bit of a back burner?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. That's just going to be something that's keeping me on the side, help make some money on the side and just get my art out there. But yeah, the music is still the number one goal. I've invested a lot
That's
into it over COVID. I mean, really, I should have got into this art stuff right in the beginning of COVID because, well, I had all this extra time and stuff. But I mean, still right now, like my main source of income before COVID happened was throwing shows and stuff as well. But because of COVID, that kind of made me have to cancel all my stuff. So
yeah,
kind
that's
of
wild,
that one
man.
hurt. But yeah. So I'm just, I just literally hustle the music. Anything I can do to push the art and like bring our community and shit together at the same time, I'm all for it.
I think it's dope that you're saying that that was your main source of income that time, but we'll touch on that a bit later. Let's kick it back a little bit more. We'll go back to 2012 or 2013 actually. You put out 90 Bars of Slack, episode number 1.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a YouTube video. This is 7 years ago. That's wild, man. And you've kept pretty consistent with your not only your quality but your releases. You're putting out a lot of material and a lot of variety as well.
I mean, like, I have probably 200 videos that are all private on YouTube just
No
because
way.
I would like, like all my first shit from 2012. I don't think I have anything from 2012. And I have stuff that has like some decent numbers on it and shit.
Oh
I,
yeah, for sure,
and
man.
it's just like, it's just not the quality and the standard that I'd like my music to be right now. And I'm just trying to get that really professional look on my shit. Even the stuff that I have right now, it's like, people love it, like the OG fans and stuff, so that's why I keep it up there. But personally, like I want to just scrap all that shit and just come in fresh and just really like next level shit.
That's fair. So you left some 2013 stuff there just for the OG fans, because then there's a huge gap between then and 2019 where you have any kind of visible content or
Yeah, I
easily
mean,
accessible.
so yeah, if you want me to break it down, like the reason I really got into rap was so I had a bad opiate addiction when I was young. I got into oxys when I was like 14. Excuse me. And yeah, it shit wasn't pretty, and it
Is that
lasted.
just a party lifestyle, or is that
You just, I didn't know what I was taking when I took it, and I just started taking it more and more, and then, that shit's literally synthetic heroin, right? So
for
you stop
sure?
taking that, and you're fucking dope sick, you're withdrawing, and you feel like fucking death. So, I like after 4 years of being hooked on that shit, I got clean, and I was just sitting at home and had nothing to do, and that's really when I got into the music and shit.
That's wild, man. Is that when you like started like releasing, or just started taking that seriously?
Yeah, just when I started taking it seriously, I started putting some stuff out. I still have it on the YouTube. It's private. It's fucking garbage, but it's there. But yeah, every
Yeah,
month I knew like I was getting better every month. And after like 6 months in a year, I'm like, damn, I picked this shit up pretty fast. Like I was never a really confident person about my music. I was always like had major anxiety, fucking choke up and shit when I'm talking to people or fucking try and rap to people and shit back then. But I knew my shit was better than fucking the majority of a lot of these other local, not to hate on other local artists,
yeah,
just
for sure,
artists
for
in personal,
sure.
but just I was just like, okay, I feel like I'm better than these people, but I wasn't like cocky about it. But so I forget what the question was.
That's okay.
I'm just
I'm
talking
forgetting
here.
the original question too. No, no, that's all good. Would you say that some music kind of got you out of the mind frame and the habits that you were before? Is that kind of like what it is, or was it just kind of like coincided that you got out of it and then music was
Yeah, I got out of it. I
what
mean,
followed?
I was always like, I was always into hip hop. Like, I was always that guy where like all my homies would hit me up for that new music and shit. I was like the guy on
You're the
LimeWire,
plug.
I was on LimeWire downloading these crazy
Yeah,
underground albums of artists that nobody ever
fucking
heard
the
of before. Just
LimeWire
find it.
days, bro.
Yeah, bro. And then, like, like over the years, even when I was a teenager, I wrote like it was like comedy raps, you know what I mean? Just shit like that. Nothing, I never
Yeah,
thought
just
I was
funny
going to be a
bars.
rapper or nothing like that. Like, I was just huge into the graffiti and the art scene and shit. And that's where I thought I was going. And then, yeah, I started making some songs about being clean and shit and just getting over that. And then I started making some songs about like some, just some more fucked up shit. I'm like, I made Mo Dirt, and I'm like, yo, I'm just going to fucking be me and just spit that raw shit. And I'm like, and people started liking it, and it was just like I just fucking practiced and got better and better each month, and I put out all my shit as I was doing it, so people seen my progress as I went. And even though a lot of it was whack, it got me to where I was, where I was like, okay, I can start deleting this shit, and now I'm actually starting to get other people's attention and so forth. But you were asking about the gap between 2013 and 2019, and that's because
Yeah.
yeah, I ended up falling back into drugs again. It went from oxys to
Fuck
heroin to
me.
fentanyl. It was just a really fucking rough go. But in that time, I also ended up having a daughter, and I just needed those few years to pretty much get my life in order and get shit back to where it needed to be. And
Just
yeah,
had to scramble it up to center yourself again, eh?
yeah, so I really just came back with it in 2019. I threw a show in my hometown, and it was crazy. It was like just a small little bar that could hold 80 people, but we had 120 people show up and just pack the place, and it was just fucking. It was awesome. So just from that, I'm
That's
like,
your
okay.
first show that you threw.
From yeah, I hadn't done a show in over 5 years at that point.
Okay, yeah. That's wild, man. How'd you get all the publicity on that?
Just literally made a fucking flyer and threw it up on Facebook. Printed off some. I went to, went to London Drugs, threw the flyer on some.
Just like public boards.
What? No, I printed them off on picture paper, so they're like glossy and shit. Cut them off, made these dope little things.
Yeah.
Cost me $7 for 100 tickets. Fucking flipped all
Yeah.
those, and yeah, people showed up, and it was dope. Just all word of mouth and those little flyers and shit, just because it was my hometown.
That's sick, man. And so the success of that is probably what kicked off your idea to make some more income off of hosting shows.
Yeah, exactly. I headlined that one, did another one, and then I'm like, okay, I want to bring things up a bit. I ended up bringing Junk out for one show, did a few other shows, and yeah, it was cool for a while. But
that's crazy, man. So how did you get the connections into even like setting up a show? Like, how do you figure out how to do that coming out of nowhere for 2019?
So there was a place that I used to do shows at in Abbotsford that I had the place popping back in 2013 when I was doing shows out here. And
just when you were performing.
Yeah. So I went down to this place. It's just a small little place in Abbotsford. Talked to this new owner that was there and pretty much told him like, yo, I've done shows here before. I can bring in this many people, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, okay. So through the show, and
easy.
He was happy with the outcome. So good to go. You just make little connections like that with venues all over, right? And go from there.
And so did you do this under a name separate than your own, or?
Yeah. Smart Mouth Entertainment. That's my, I guess you would say, media company. I mean, it's like kind of a mother company because I have songs there under Smart Mouth Entertainment. I also have the Smart Mouth Cypher series, which is something else we can get into.
Yeah, for sure. Let's segue right into it. Why not?
Yeah, so Smart Mouth Cyphers. This was just a little side project that I started. They're not video ciphers; they're just audio.
Yeah.
It started on
the
West.
5 volumes out.
Yeah, there's 5 of them out right now. I just started I started it with some artists on the West Coast. It gained some traction. I got some other artists, and it just like from so on and so forth. I just started getting some of the dopest artists like from all over Canada. Right now, you guys don't know some of the other lineups that are coming out, but fuck, they're crazy. Like, I'm really pumped about this project. But yeah, so the goal is to get 10 ciphers out by December, and it's going to be on a compilation tape, and it'll feature it'll feature all the artists that were a part of the project on the front cover. So it'll be a dope looking cover with everyone that was on it on the front. And it's really just showcasing some of the dopest underground spitters from all over Canada.
Man, that's awesome. Are you operating this as kind of like a collective, or how are you moving forward with this? Do you have all the people that you've selected planned out, or is it just kind of all different people that you're going to pick up until the final release in December?
These are all just people that I personally have found or personally fuck with. The first few, like I said, they were all West Coast artists because I'm from the West, so they're people that I had relationships and shit with. And then I started branching out. You say it in the first
verse, they're all BC artists.
Yeah, totally. Hey, you've done your research, man. You know more shit than I do.
It's a bunch of tracks before, because yeah, even though you had that gap, man, you've been busy. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, 2019 is when I really got into it. And like before that, it was all just YouTube. That was the only thing I did was YouTube. I didn't know
Yeah,
anything, I didn't buy beats. I made my own beats here and there, but I just, I'd rap over other people's beats and shit. It was just me learning and just rapping and just having fun with it.
for
2019 is
sure.
when I decided to learn the business side of it and really get my music out there, or try to learn the business side of it. I'm still trying to learn the marketing and shit. But yeah, and even as I go,
Oh, it's
like,
always a work in progress.
yeah, like my stuff's just leveling up. Like even like so, Dirt's World is an EP that I dropped on June 12th, a few months back, and that was my first legit project that I dropped. Everything I had dropped a few mixtapes before that, but that was the first project that I dropped, and that
Who
was
does your production for those?
so that was a mix. My homie DJ Big Smoke, we're real close. We're in another group label. I don't know what you call it. Raw Vibes Music. It's what the title says. It's Raw Vibes Music.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys will
yeah.
start seeing that shit come up a lot too.
Dope, man.
Yeah, so he did a few of the songs on there. Kato did a few tracks. And then I had one off track that I bought off some random producer, Royal Beats. Yeah, other than that, yeah, so I had DJ Big Smoke, he mixed and mastered that. Yeah, but anyway, so that album was a collective of songs that were, like, a couple of them were new, a couple of them were old. Like the song that I have with Rusty Jokes, that shit was from 2013. Actually, it's from 2012, and it
On
never
Dirt's
came.
World?
Yeah, it never came out because I lost the track
No way.
on my old laptop. I ended up fucking finding his verse, Rusty's verse, and the beat and shit in an old email. I had NATO do the cuts and stuff on it. I hit up NATO to ask him if he had the cuts by chance still. He pulled out an old hard drive, found the cuts for it. I'm like, fucking sick. So
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
I just redid my verse on it, and then I had my homie Mike Sherm hop on the last verse on that shit and put it out. And people don't know the difference, man. Like Rusty's, he's got that old school flow. You can't tell that shit's fucking 8 years old,
You
7 years
can't
old.
tell it all, man. No, it's badass.
And then yeah, a lot of the other songs on it too are like a year plus old. I like it's a solid solid project that I'm really happy with, but I know the production and everything could still be a bit better. The engineering and stuff could still be a bit better. And that's what I'm really trying to do with these next projects that I'm doing. Right now I'm working on, I have some crazy singles in the work, but I'm working on 2 projects right now. Dirt's World Part 2, which is exclusively produced by Starcore this time. And then I have...
Why'd you link exclusively with Starcore?
Why?
Yeah.
He's just someone I've been paying attention to for the last year. I really fuck with this sound. I've seen a lot of good shit come from him with other artists, and yeah, we were talking for a little bit, and I decided to just go ahead and just say, hey, let's do this whole project together, and I'm gonna do it for Dirt's World. Yeah, which I've lined up some good features for that as well. I have Aaron Cohen featuring on that. I have Ren Thomas featuring on that, and I have another feature, but I can't say that one yet.
That's dope, man. So when does that drop?
The plan was to drop it December, but
You got a lot of drops coming December.
Yeah, it might get pushed back a bit because I'll drop this exclusively right now for you.
Let's hear it.
I'm working on It Was a Surprise EP with a producer by the name of Dro, or Who Is Dro. I'm not sure if are you familiar with him?
I sounds familiar, but I can't really say.
Do you know Palmer Squares?
No.
Okay, well they're a group. He's their main producer. They're really dope. He's done stuff for like Wax, Jack Harlow. I don't know. He's done stuff for a lot of people, but he's a really dope producer with a really dope sound. And yeah, we're working on a little 5-track EP, and it's just
that's solid, man.
It blows some of my shit out of the water, especially just for the writing and stuff. Like I'm really happy with how this is turning out, and I'm working on a music video for it, and for the first single from it, and this music video is like, once I drop it, that's what I mean about my shit being on the next level and getting it to that higher quality that I want to see it at. Once I drop this, it's going to put my other shit to shame, and I'm going to want to get rid of it. So for anyone out there, go download that shit off there, because I might be private in that shit after a while.
It might go deep into the archives.
Recently too, I did take most of my audio stuff off of YouTube. I was gonna just keep it strictly visual. I'm gonna take all my audio stuff and just put it all on Bandcamp for free for everyone. So.
Oh, hey, but what about all the other stuff that is deep in the archives? Is that just kind of had its time and is never going to be re-released, or is that kind of just
certain times? I mean, recently I just made a bunch of videos public. I'm not sure if you looked on there. You mentioned 90 bars of Slack. Well, I did 90 bars of schizophrenia. That was number 2. 90 bars of a real story. That was number 3. That one goes in on my addiction and shit a little bit when I was younger. Talking about the oxys and stuff like that. This is before I even got back into it and had a way worse fucking run with it. But and then there's a number 4, 90 bars of dopamine. But those should all be up there. There's a bunch of random old videos that I put up there for a little bit when I took the audio stuff down, but eventually I'm gonna take that back off too.
Yeah, man, the sheer amount of content, it's incredible. And the fact on top of that is that you're a fast flow rapper too. Like your 90 bars is 90 straight bars type deal, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of content, and there's a lot of in between the lines as well. Yeah. But we're going to take that quick break that I told you about, eh?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, beauty.
We're going to listen to Mo Dirt's track No Refunds featuring King Magnetic.
Sorry, no refund. Okay, here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Did build for my biz, goes by the ribs, owe myself money, kidnap my kids, fighting to live, but I'm willing to die. Rappers is food, we grill them and fry the dish, you could get robbed of this. I don't want no smoke, I want a lot of it. Welcome to the zoo, this is what llamas is. You cannot leave till it's empty as promises.
What the fuck is a scholarship? Polytech? Nah, bitch, I'm from where piranhas live. Projects Anonymous, prodigal prodigy. I'm where the body is, I'm chopping bricks with Karate Kid. Mo Dirt, King Mag, you know what it do. Kid, I want the ones and twos, yeah, we making money moves. Coming to a city near you, straight on from the booth, 100 proof. This ass woman is not refundable, bitch.
No refunds, you don't get a refund. No refunds, you don't get a refund. No refunds, you don't get a refund. Nah, no refunds. If I'm going out with a bang. If you don't want a pound, I don't get in my fucking way. If I'm going out with a bang. If you don't want a pound, I don't get in my fucking way.
Yo, bring out a gun and assemble it, son. That's the world that we living in. Get with it, chemists is selling our government medicines, turning our kids into zombies on sedatives. Let's put an end to this. Cause when a child dies, it's not a homicide, it's just an honest mistake. And all they could say is sorry, but you signed the dotted line. No refund.
Lacking the sign of help, timing is everything. Snap like a timing belt, know where I'm going. Trying to find myself, that brother lost in the sauce and the violence fell. Pain in the spot where I aimed it at. Too many obstacles made me a maniac. I was always dumb and then I started numbing, giving out a dozen like it wasn't nothing.
No refunds, you don't get a refund. No refunds, you don't get a refund. No refunds, you don't get a refund. Nah, no refunds. If I'm going out with a bang. If you don't want a pound, I don't get in my fucking way. If I'm going out with a bang. If you don't want a pound, I don't get in my fucking way.
Kids, but it's store policy. I can't give you a refund. I think you got stitched. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
All right, everyone, I'm back with Mo Dirt. How you doing, homie?
Hey, what's good, bro?
Hey, chilling, man, chilling. So I think before, I don't actually remember exactly where we left off, but we were talking about Dirt's World. Is it safe to say that Dirt's World is like an amalgamation of who you are as an artist, just because kind of that big gap that you had? Because you were still an artist before, you were still an artist throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely grown as a person. I've grown as an artist. I know, like, I'm definitely working on a lot of new music where it's not that grimy Mo Dirt shit that you're used to. Like just lots of experimenting with my voice, whether it's I'm yelling or trying to sing, or, you know, I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone and trying to do some new shit. As far as Dirt's World, this is supposed to be like that grimy Mo Dirt shit. Like it's that, you know, as far as like, you know, you're bringing up the fast flows and shit earlier. I really tried to step away from that on this album. I think Winter Heat is probably the only one where I'm doing a bit of double time, I think. Other than that, it's all pretty straightforward. But like you could definitely say it's an amalgamation. I can't even talk, bro.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, so that's what Dirt's World is just supposed to be, that raw, grimy Mo Dirt shit. The other album I was talking to you about, it doesn't have a name yet. The one I'm doing with Dro, that one's a little bit different. That one,
When's the drop date for that?
It doesn't have a drop date. Like I said, that was exclusive.
TBD.
That like it's still in the works. It's not finished yet. Same with Dirt's World, not finished yet. So I've always shot myself in the foot when I give a release date for something that isn't finished. Like every time.
Wait, not Dirt's World. Dirt's World is the one you already released.
Dirt's World Part 2. Dirt's World Part 2.
Part 2. Got you.
Yeah,
okay, that's wild, man. That's sick.
So that's gonna be a trilogy. There's gonna be Dirt's World Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And you know how the album covers on that one with the fucking. It's hard to explain, but just like that was really inspired from Redman's Mudface album.
Yeah,
if you can picture that. But yeah, all three of the album covers that I'm going to do are all going to have that similar style to it, where I got the big head and this the cartoon looking animated, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
Go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I got a bad way of describing it.
That's dope. Who does your cover art?
He goes by the name Define Design on IG. That's DAFINE Design, Define Design, and he's fucking crazy. Go hit him up if you want something.
How'd you link with him?
I linked with him through my homie DJ Big Smoke. I guess they've been doing shit together for years now. And yeah, I was looking at his stuff and I gave him the idea, and he honestly went above and beyond. And like, I was just fucking ecstatic when I seen that. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm gonna just say that's probably one of the hardest fucking album covers of 2020, even in the past fucking decade. Man, show me something as dope as that.
my man, that's sick. I'm excited to see the ones that are coming out, especially when it keeps the same theme. You said you don't have a title for the third project yet, but do you have something in mind at all, or is it you have to have like a theme for the? Oh, you have most of the tracks kind of.
Yeah, so the tracks are pretty much done, and the tracks, like, they're all some heavy tracks, like couple, like I said, you guys will be seeing one drop with the music video for the first single for it, which is going to be fucking bananas. Yeah, I actually have another song on there, Bounce. Actually, that one will probably come out first. It's Bounce, and it's featuring Yellow Bunny. That track is done, ready to release. I just need to get some cover art for it, and I'll probably put that out soon. Yeah, it wasn't a plan to really put this together as an album until just recently. I was talking to homie about it, and I was like, you know what, I have these 5 beats, and this could actually be a really dope tape if we just put this out like this. And he was with it, so I'm like, okay, dope, let's do that then. So that's I'd say it's a mixture of it's definitely that Mo Dirt shit, but it's some really hard, just like some banging trap beats where I'm doing my double time, just doing some crazy shit, and then I have some other.
Fuck yeah.
Then I have another one on there where it really it's some real shit, like spitting some shit about my life and addiction and shit like that. Going forward, 2021, my plan is to do I don't know if I'll do the full length LP, but I'm thinking that, and that's really going to be separating just the Dirt's World and all these and the different experimenting stuff I'm talking about, and it's really going to mesh it all into one, and it's going to really maybe not even as much with the grimy Dirt's World shit. It's more going to be on a personal level, and it's going to be really about my life and the shit I've gone through. It seems like that's what a lot of people are wanting from me, and that's one thing that I haven't really given a lot of people. And I know when I do drop stuff like that, when it relates with people, like, the feedback is crazy, and I get people hitting me up and saying how much they enjoy the tracks and shit. And people will say stuff when I drop other tracks, but they're not like, messaging me saying how much the song touched them and shit like that. So I just really I have a message that I want to spread, and I have a life story, and I think it will relate with a lot of people with the addiction and shit like that, and with how rampant everything is these days with, the fentanyl fucking crisis and just everything going on. It's, there's a lot of struggling people out there that I feel like that need a voice, and I can voice that.
For sure, man, especially because a lot of these people do feel like they're every situation is unique, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people do feel like there isn't people out there who understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And especially with COVID and everything going on, like, no one's talking about that shit. Like, in this last week or two, things have really picked up for me. I've actually had a lot of really cool opportunities and just things happen over this last couple of weeks. But the last month before that, it was a tough fucking month, man. Like, I know like 6 people that passed away, and like,
no way.
I had like two homies, close homies that, they overdosed and they're not here anymore. And it's crazy to even think about.
This is just over the last few months.
Yeah, literally last month, man.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah.
It's been rough. And, since just in total, the amount of people that I've lost from that shit, man, it's crazy. Like a good dozen people that were like, a part of my life, including my own little brother, man. Like it's not something to be fucked with.
Fuck. That's wild, man. Is correct me if I'm wrong, but is losing people part of the reason that you got off of it or got out of it?
It is in a sense, but it's not the thing that made me stop right there. As hard as it is to say, it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's a fucking struggle, and it's something you really gotta overcome. And I'm glad that it's something that I have overcome, and it's not something that I can ever imagine myself going back to. But that was a good 10-year struggle plus dealing with that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's wild. That's wild. Not a lot of people can say that, and I'm very excited to hear the music in which you actually speak more through those experiences.
Yeah, because originally, like I said, that's the whole reason I started making the music, right? That was the main reason, was because I was like, I got clean and I had something I wanted to talk about, but I wasn't the greatest rapper back then. And, I put some songs out, but people started really fucking with the songs when I was just talking about other shit. So that's where it started going. And then I started getting into the party life and doing stuff again. And fucking things went downhill when I ended up dating a girl who was into shit, and we both fucking got back into it. And yeah, that's how the story
Like
goes.
just spiraled. Yeah. Fucking, that's how the story goes. Well, let's talk about one of your more recent releases. There, you did a music video with titled Three Gringos with Skinny Buff and Jay Phrase. Are these guys related to your Smart Mouth Entertainment background there?
So Jay Phrase is a good homie of mine. We do lots of shit together. Like pretty much all the last shows I've done in this last year, other than some random ones here and there, we've rocked all of our shows together. We've got a lot of collab tracks together. He's just
for sure
a good homie. I would consider him part of
features.
Yeah, I consider him part of Smart Mouth Gang. He's not like under the label or anything like that. He's just affiliated, as well as with the Raw Vibes music. Like that's kind of a collective of me, Jay Phrase, DJ Big Smoke, and another producer who goes by the name Lost Naga. It's pretty much just us right now, and we're looking for other people to join it. It's not like a group. It's just people who want to put out raw vibes, and yeah, that was created by DJ Big Smoke. That's his thing. But like I said, I'm a part of it. Smart Mouth Entertainment is my thing. Yeah.
What happened in the shift with? Because I imagine you were saying, or I'm imagining that the basis of Smart Mouth. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say I forgot what the question was. Skinny Buff, however, is Skinny Buff is another homie. He's the leader of the Bandits. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Bandits, but
the leader of the Bandits. No, I can't say.
So the Bandits is a collective, or a fellowship rather, of just artists. Mainly artists, but people with other things too. It's a collective of people that he's really started.
Just talented folk.
Yeah, he just started a movement pretty much out here, and it's been doing well. Skinny Buff is definitely that old school OG. So you've seen that obviously if you've seen the music video. But yeah, no, he's a great guy to work with. It was really fun doing that video, and the beat was produced by Sealance. That was my first time rocking on a Sealance beat, so that was dope too.
Hey, yeah, and that wasn't your first track with Skinny Buff either. With you had Damaged Lungs with Jay Phrase as well on there.
Yeah, I got Skinny Buff on the hook for that one. That one was produced by Lost Naga. That was a Raw Vibes release.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. All these people you've worked with. So, is there an under the label for Smart Mouth Entertainment?
Is there? Sorry, say that again.
You said like Jay Phrase, and it wasn't really like under the label or anything for Smart Mouth Entertainment. And I was wondering if there is such a thing as under the label for Smart Mouth Entertainment, or what you guys actually do or have been doing.
My solo songs are under Smart Mouth Entertainment. I do have like some of my collab songs with him are under Smart Mouth Entertainment. It's not like we're signed or anything. This is just something that we put together, and it's
just kind of the brand.
Yeah, so we throw that up there. But yeah, it's not like I think with the Smart Mouth Entertainment, it's more of the media promotion company.
I see what you're saying.
And I mean the Smart Mouth Cyphers, Smart Mouth Gang. It's a movement. It's a brand. Yeah, we'll see how things go in the future, I guess.
For sure.
I'm still learning as I go. Things are still being built as I go. it's all a process.
For sure, man. I actually wanted to ask next, how do you manage everything that seems to be in the process? Because it seems like you got, especially in the recent future, a lot of things going your way, as well as just kind of a lot of life that's going to be happening real fast. So I'm wondering what your process is to kind of deal with the day to day.
Man, my head feels like it's going to explode sometimes, honestly.
No shit, eh?
Especially with doing the show stuff. Like, for a while there, my music definitely got put on hold when I was doing the shows. Like, it was just too much time and energy had to be put into that. And especially on show days, or like, I'm running the things, I'm making sure everything's going good. I'm performing, I'm doing everything. And it's like, it's really exhausting.
I
And
wouldn't doubt it, man.
like once COVID and shit hit, I was like, you know what, this has been great for me to work on music. And I haven't really been releasing as consistently as I'd like to be right now, but the amount of stuff that I have in the works is major. And once it does start coming out, it's going to be really dope. And I'm not trying to rush this stuff. Like I said, I want to take it to that next level, and I'm trying to get that really high quality music.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are there any public performances or anything going around in your area that you're attending?
Nah, I threw an open cipher at the park. This is something I did the last couple of years. I called it Hip Hop in the Park, and we brought a PA system out with a couple microphones and a barbecue and shit, and just had burgers mixed up by donation to kind of cover the cost of everything. Had a generator out there to play the speakers and stuff, and yeah, we just went to the park, and it was insanely hot that day, which fucking sucked because a bunch of people didn't come because of the heat. It was like 38 degrees or something.
Oh, but no shit. You're talking about this year, though?
Yeah. It was still dope, though. It was, that's the only thing that I've done. Actually, no, I did do one show during COVID. But other than that, that we threw that. And that was really fun, too. I definitely want to do that again next year. It's just a fun thing to get the community out together and get some artists out to come freestyle and network with each other and shit. Producers bring out USB sticks with their beats and stuff. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Well, also, I'm thinking, just going back to how busy your life is, you said you can barely keep your head together. What does it actually look like, though? Like, do you have like a day plan, or like, because what I'm thinking about in my head is like, you're gonna be homeschooling, you're moving soon, you're gonna be working on all your Illustrator shit. You've also got these 3 simultaneous projects you're putting out. I don't know if saying this out loud is overwhelming you right now, because it's getting to me a little bit.
Yeah, man, I wasn't putting that all together like that, but thanks.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure there's like a fuck ton of other things in the background. Like, you're a human being, you gotta fucking eat, sleep, and breathe too,
yeah,
right?
Man, for sure. Yeah, dude. So when I have my kid, it's definitely a lot harder to do any of that other stuff. The illustrating and stuff, I can kind of take advantage of that. We can do some daddy-daughter drawing time and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that one's cool. Sure. It's a lot harder to work on the music and stuff when she's around. And yeah, now that summer's over and I'm going to be homeschooling, that's going to be another few hours out of the day that we got to dedicate to that. And honestly, I'm not as organized as I need to be, but because of her, like, that's going to help me get in routine, because I need to make sure she's following her routine. So it's going to help me put my shit together and start doing what I need to be doing on time and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely could be using my days better and planning them better. It's kind of like I just go. I'm like, people, like with the shows and everything like that. Like, so many people told me, dude, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna fucking not be able to do it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm putting out the flyer. I'm saying it's happening, so it's happening.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna look like a jackass. So it's happening, and I just do it, and it fucking works out. So I don't know. I just put my mind to it, and I do it when it needs to get done. But I definitely put things off too, more than I should be.
Well, if it's worked so far, man, I think it's crazy that you have people slowing you down in a sense.
Yeah, man, I've definitely met a few solid cats over the last year. But yeah, a lot of people just are, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's up with them. I know I got my goals and what I'm trying to do, but other people got other shit on their mind. I don't really know. I'm just here to do me, and I'm cutting out the people that are slowing my shit down and holding me back. I'm trying to just surround myself with positive people who got the same mentality and similar visions and goals and stuff.
That's fair, man. Yeah, I do know what you mean. So do you find yourself connecting socially very often with, I guess, these people who you're saying that you vibe with? Or
honestly, my circle is really small. Like I said, like yeah, DJ Big Smoke, Jay Fraze, those guys, fucking Lost Naga, those guys are really
I'm guessing Merc
mainly
too.
all
You
I.
got a lot of him on your tracks.
Yeah, Merc too. That's the homie. He lives in the UK though. He lives in London.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I had him come down here and like live with me for a few months back in 2013. We just met each
That's
other
what I was
online.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. He's my brother, man. I love that dude. He's trying to come back out here. I'm trying to get out there, but COVID and shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, we got to cook some shit up too, man. He's a fucking monster on the mic.
That's fucking crazy, man.
He's literally what made me step my game up. Like we did a bunch of tracks back in like 2012 and shit, and he bodied me on every fucking track, and I just got sick of it. And I'm like without him, fucking there may be no Mo Dirt, because he really made me step my game up. I didn't even do my first show until he came out here. I was too bitch to do my own show.
No way.
So yeah, he came out and I performed my very first show with him.
He was your main motivator beforehand.
Yeah, man. I owe a lot of credit to him.
That's crazy. I was watching, I forget which video it was. I think it was the Dope Cypher. Yeah, that must have been it. Where
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to come in with the thick UK accent, but I don't know. You guys complimented each other really well in the video, I thought. I know that's fucking ages ago, but...
Yeah, like I said, you just got to see that one. That was private forever. Like probably most of those videos that you got to see up there were all private before last week.
Oh, hey. You said you were focusing kind of on marketing or learning the marketing aspect of the business or the business side stuff more recently. Can you tell us what that kind of looked like from your perspective, or what that is looking like, what you want to focus more on, or what you found the most success in?
Honestly, I'm still at the very beginning, early stages of that. And
no.
I'm looking for, I'm definitely still learning. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can elaborate on that because I couldn't even tell you.
That's fair, man.
You know,
what do you think is the most important thing to do? Because what you're doing so far seems to be working, which I, from my perspective, just seems to be like kind of just putting stuff out there.
Yeah, it's worked. I think to the max that it's going to work. Like I need to start doing something. I need to change something up because I don't.
You need to strategize.
Yeah, because I'm at a level where it's been consistent, and I'm gaining new fans and shit slowly and organically, which is dope. But there's got to be a better way for me to get my music in front of more people's ears. It's not hearing the amount of people that it should be. I invest a lot of money into my music, and I just know that I should be putting some more money into marketing and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm still learning what to do, and it's just me. I don't have a manager. I don't have anyone helping me out. It's always been just me. And, I always help out people when I can. Like I've learned a lot of shit over, the last 8 years. That there's a lot of shit that I wish I knew back when I first started rapping. But yeah, no, the marketing and all that, I'm just learning as I go. And, I need to get more in tune with it. But like I said, and like you've heard, my life is just so busy. It's like hard for me to find time for stuff like that.
For sure. To be honest, I find that with stuff like that, like you said, it's easier to kind of put the money into it and then see the rewards or responses from that, right?
Yeah, and I've definitely talked to a couple people that have given me some good insight and pointed me in the right direction for information and stuff like that. So I just need to go and take their advice and go and do that, because I know that'll be beneficial for sure, because I've seen the results. But I haven't done that yet, so like I said, I can't really elaborate on it.
It's all stuff that's just kind of coming down the pipes, and like you said, man, you've got a lot on the burners right now. I'm looking forward to it myself, but we're going into overtime right now. Is there anything you kind of want to sign off on or say to anybody that's listening?
Honestly, I just appreciate you having me up here. This is my first interview.
For sure, man.
Other than stay tuned for some really fucking awesome music and visuals before the end of 2020. I don't got a whole lot to say. I think we touched base on a whole lot.
Yeah, no, thank you so much again for taking the time. I know I pushed a couple of delays on you, but I really appreciate you taking the time and telling us all the details about your music and information behind your future releases as well, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, everyone, that's Mo Dirt. Thank you so much, homie.
Hey, Mo Dirt.
Peace out, bro.
Peace, bro. Much love.
All right, everyone, that was Mo Dirt. I hope you enjoyed the episode, enjoyed the interview. If you want to learn some more about him, go on down to www.reevolvemedia.com/Mo Dirt. That's MODIRT. And we are going to sign off with his track, Bounce. Enjoy and take care.
it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face. Then I love it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face.
They say I'm just a hoe, I'm just a joke like they all know. Funny flowing, bringing smoke, ain't got no dough, I've been dead broke. But they say I must have money when they wanna see me fall. Came out, been capping like it's funny with that drama in that rapper glad I'm out. I ain't been back, I smoke loud. I wear Adidas, I sit 40s, drinking no weeds with my shorty, widow weeded, and I'm out. Want it back, I got clout, I got yak, I got homies all down for me, down to blow you with that get, red attack. Want it on the street, spit it on the track, find another beat, write another rap. You cannot compete, you know where I'm at. Find me on the scene, ready to attack. I've been out again, these rappers, they not your friend. I'm wasting all my energy on people never seen again.
I love it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face. Then I love it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face.
They say that I'm an asshole cause these bitches want my dick, bro. If I fucked your bitch, I swear to God I hit it accidental.
Okay, I'm just being dumb now. Of course I get it, I did it after my touchdown. When me and Bunny hit the stage, you get shut down. When I make it, I'm buying my whole team bust down. Uno, dos, tres, I don't really care what a motherfucker says. I've been doing my thing, I've been putting in work. I've been fighting through the pain so that y'all can know dirt. Hey, vámonos, adios, no we don't want no more. Hasta la vista, bitch, make with the cardio. Do with the audio, set and just bounce. If you want to smoke, I'll put you in the clouds. Oh, this is a bop. You lying if you say that this isn't hot. This is that rock that you whip in the pot. Certified dope, we the kids on the block, so bounce, baby, I just smoked a whole ounce, baby. That's a whole lot of loud, baby. Oh my God, do I sound crazy? Or maybe just a little. I heard you got big guns, shells like armadillo. Mine are even bigger, they the size of Donatello. Motherfucker, I'm cold like the backside of your pillow. This ain't a little riddle. I heard you got big guns, shells like armadillo. Mine are even bigger, they the size of Donatello. Motherfucker, I'm cold like the backside of your pillow. Now, I love it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face. Then I love it when the house shake like an ever earthquake. Yeah, I like the house. I love it when her cake shake like it's on my birthday. Yeah, I like the house. I'm talking about the bass, talking about the bass, talking about the bass. Put the pussy in my face, put it in my face, put it in my face.